Well, once again, the Mississauga Metro Stars came oh so close to taking down one of the giants of the Major Arena Soccer League, but came up just short in the end. More coming up in just a moment. This is Inside Arena Soccer. Welcome back, everybody. And later on in the show, the playoff race is heating up in the Arena Premier League as teams are jockeying for position down the stretch. We'll have all the highlights for you. But first, let's get to the Metro Stars. And on their most recent homestand, they were taking on the three-time defending league champs from Baltimore. Now, the Stars had nearly knocked off the Blast earlier in the season before going down in overtime. And once again, they gave the visitors all they could handle. Metro Stars highlights now brought to you by Monte Carlo Inns, your home away from home. Monte Carlo, the official hotel of the Mississauga Metro Stars. And the Metro Stars were sporting a different look in this game against Baltimore. Head coach Phil Ionati earlier in the week decided to step aside to pursue a new opportunity. So behind the bench for the first time was new head coach Rick Titus and assistant Johnny Williams. And the Stars played incredibly well in the opening quarter. Josh Paredes getting things going. 36 seconds in, the gargantuan strike past William Venzela from another area code. Wicked blast from Paredes. 1-0 Metro Stars early. 7 minutes later, they hit again. And it's Mo Babouli making things happen, continuing his hot play. The Damian Graham out front. Quick reflexes by the money man. He shelves it past Venzela. And 2-0 for the Stars, and they weren't done. Raheem Rose, in his very first game as a Metro Star, shakes off the defender, dances past Venzela. The newcomer looking like a seasoned veteran out there. And that caps the best opening quarter in franchise history. It was only a matter of time, though, until Baltimore woke up. David Oliveira, the wicked left footer, past Becic. He cuts into the Metro Stars lead, and it's 3-1. Nothing Becic could do about that one. 3 minutes later, Jamie Thomas, at first it looked like he rode it along the glass, but take another look, it actually just a beautiful bend on it. Top right corner, and 3-2. But the Stars would respond with one of the best goals they've scored all season. Starts at midfield, ends up in the back of the net. Matt Rios with the perfect finish. This was a team effort, though, this goal. Watch, it starts with the dummy by Chambers, and then Diro over to Rios, and boom. 4-2 for the Metro Stars. Last minute of the half, though, Baltimore gets another. Ibrahima Keita, way too much time and space. Tattoos the offering past Becic. 4-3 at the break. That score lasted until the fourth quarter. Baltimore was out shooting Mississauga by a big margin. Finally, it pays off for the Blast. Yonatos Melos and Baltimore claws all the way back to knotted at 4 apiece. And then finally, with 5.5 remaining, Melos again, silky smooth touch past Becic, gives Baltimore a lead they would not relinquish. Nice pass, too, from Vinny Dantas to set him up here. The Stars come oh so close to knocking off the three-time defending MASL champions, but just can't hold on in the end. Full marks on the effort, though. Great performance against one of the league's best squads. Players from both teams stopped by to give their thoughts after the contest with our Nikki Jeffrey.
Yeah, we started a little slow, I mean, it's a long trip coming up here, we're starting really slow, and, like second quarter, we kind of pick it up. Third quarter, we get back on the game. So, like the indoor game is 4 quarters, so we got to do, our best, the end of all the 4 quarters. So first quarter, the Mississauga coming really strong. We're just trying to get better, as soon as the game is going.
Well, it's a long game, right? First quarter doesn't matter what the score is, but well, we just got to work on learning how to maintain that score, and it was a good team effort. It's 5-4, I think. It's a good score, but just got to work on the mistakes, look over the film, and fix it.
Yeah, so close yet again. Let's take a look at some of the MASL leaders now. This is for the top Stars, who's accumulated the most points so far. Frank Teyu, Ian Bennett, Ricardo Carvalho, Slava Jubit Parisovic, and Vinicius Dantas of the Blast. Leading points getters, Nick Pereira of the Tacoma Stars, Leo Gibson, Frank Teyu from the Monterey Flash, Ian Bennett, the Canadian, and Brandon Escoto from the San Diego Sockers. Hey everybody, welcome back to Inside Arena Soccer. Well, coming off what may have been their best performance of the season the week previous against the Baltimore Blast, the Mississauga Metro Stars hosted the Harrisburg Heat 6 days later. Now the Stars have had success against Harrisburg. Up until this contest, they'd taken 2 of 3 games against the Heat this season, so it seemed like a great opportunity to pick up their 4th win of the campaign. On this day, however, it was Harrisburg that dominated the contest from start to finish. Highlights in this segment are brought to you by Paramount Fine Foods. Paramount, the official food supplier to the Gladiator Club Lounge at Metro Stars home games. Harrisburg had won 3 of 4 coming into this game, including a victory over powerhouse Milwaukee, so they had momentum. And unfortunately for the Metro Stars, that continued into this game big time. Things were bad right from the start. 24 seconds in, Sean Brown steamrolls keeper Matt Perella. Ouch. Perella was down for an extended period, had to be helped off the pitch, replaced by William Bonahaney between the posts. Brown got a blue card and Harrisburg got a power play. Ricardo Carvalho, he had a game. Gets things started, rips it past Adrian Becic. 1-0 for the Harrisburg Heat. Nice shutout at the end of the first quarter. Dwayne De Rosario had just been inducted into the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, and he was given a big ovation by the crowd at Paramount. What an incredible career D-Ro has had. Things got testy in the second quarter. Massimo Mirabelli gets dropped by Nelson Santana with the forearm. Watch as Mirabelli gets in his face to complain. Keep an eye on Santana's right hand, right there, below the belt, for the painful tweak. And yeah, Mirabelli didn't like that. He was feeling it. Gets a blue card for that. 3 minutes later, Metro Stars on the attack. Jared Phillips back in the lineup after missing several games. Looking good, though. Puts it past Bonahaney. Now, despite being outplayed up to that point, the Stars even it up, but a disturbing trend continues to happen. After Mississauga scores a goal, this time it's just 16 seconds later. Mississauga even Steven with Harrisburg. Oh, stolen. Oh boy, given away, shot on goal, and it's in, just like that.
Unbelievable giveaway. This is
highs to lows for Mississauga.
This is a typical Mississauga moment after you've worked hard to tie the game, and then in like 10 seconds later, you've given a gift to the opposition, and it's almost like you've been working all that time for nothing.
Babarushi calling it as he sees it, and just a minute and a half later, the Metro Stars were scrambling. Becic doing all he can, but finally, Devoy Morgan goes roof daddy to make it 3-1 for the Heat. We skip ahead to the fourth quarter now. Harrisburg up 7-1, and they would make it 8. Carvalho picking up his 4th goal of the day. Told you he had a good game. It was only then that the Stars had some real pushback. Darren Chambers cuts to the middle, uses the screen to slide it past Bonahaney. That made it 8-2 Harrisburg. Mo Babuli was awarded a penalty kick off a handball. Makes no mistake. And it was 8-3 for the Heat. And then with under 10 seconds remaining, Mr. Mo does it all himself, left-footing it past the sprawling Bonahaney. Babuli continues to be a leader for the team. He was one of the few bright spots on the day, picking up his 2nd of the contest. Far too little, too late, however, as Harrisburg was all over the Stars from start to finish, taking it by an 8-4 count as Harrisburg continues its surge up the East Division standings with its 4th win in 5 games.
But it's slowly coming together. It's coming together as we go along. I was just saying, road wins are rare to come by for us, so we've got to take it as we go and move on. So we've got a more important game tomorrow, so we've just got to go home, rest up, and look forward to that.
What I saw today is that we have a young team that needs to learn about passion and what it means to play for the crowd and play for your home fans. We'll work on that for a couple of weeks, and we'll work on our defensive set, make sure that we're a bit more organized and a bit more committed to making the tackle, helping our teammates out, and being a bit more a family on the field.
Let's take a look then at the East Division standings. Utica City leading the way currently in first place, followed closely by the Blast, just a game behind. Harrisburg, as mentioned, making a surge up the standings, now 7 wins on the campaign. Mississauga, unfortunately, 3 wins thus far to go along with 15 losses. They sit in 4th spot. Goal leaders for the MASL currently, the Canadian, the man from Hamilton, Ian Bennett leading the way for the Milwaukee Wave, followed by Frank Teyu, Nick Pereira, Leo Gibson of the Kansas City Comets, and Gordy Gerson of the Orlando Seawolves with 24 to round out the top 5. Hey everybody, welcome back to Inside Arena Soccer. And we shift our focus to the Arena Premier League now. And with the playoffs right around the corner, there are some vicious battles taking place as teams jockey for postseason position. Last weekend's marquee matchup definitely lived up to expectations, as Croatia and Portugal have been two of the APL's top squads all season long, and they slugged it out for top spot on Sunday in a contest that saw tempers flare on both sides. Game highlights in this segment are brought to you by Esco Clothiers, the official clothiers of the Mississauga Metro Stars. Esco, tailored style. The intensity was off the charts right from the opening kickoff in this one. First couple of minutes, Tristan Watson, watch the little elbow to the face right there of Amir Hosic. He was on the turf for a bit, and referee Norm Oliveira wasting no time in flashing the blue card. Norm was a busy guy in the first quarter. 2 minutes later, Pero Analo chops down the Portuguese player. Norm handing out the blue once again, and that seemed to calm things down a bit as they actually played some soccer after that. Croatia getting things going. Watch the beautiful dummy here by Dario Granic through the legs, finished off by Roberto Gale. 1-0 for the Croats. Soon after, Granic sent down the wing, and he will hit pay dirt. Croatia up by a deuce. Portugal cuts that lead in half though. Watson, the gorgeous header, quick reflexes, keeper can't catch up to it, and the score was 3-1 at halftime. Third quarter now, Gale will bank it off the boards. It will come all the way back for Granic, and he will pound it home to make it 4-1 for Croatia. Portugal continuing to fight back though. The ball pops to Nikola Miodrag, and he will tattoo it home to make it 4-2 with the score 5-2. Gorgeous backdoor pass from Alan Kukalovic to Pero Manalo, and the lead is padded once again. Portugal never says die though. The original stop is made here. Damian Scott puts home the second chance. However, back and forth they would continue to go. Croatia winning this edition of the Clash of the Titans of the APL as they drop Portugal by a 6-4 count. Iran had just one sub for their game against Ukraine, but they still gave them all they could handle. Early on, boom, ball is hammered past Ihor Vitiv to make it 1-0, and then Iran's Momir waltzing through the middle, tattoos it past Vitiv to make it 2-0. Iran down 3-0. Ukraine makes its comeback. Vasil Shuk tips it in out front, and 3-1 at that point. Second half was all Ukraine. It's Zhuk once again on the doorstep, putting home the feed. 4-4 at that point, and then gorgeous passing by the Blues. Drahan Nazari, quick shot out front, finds daylight. The Ukrainians would end up pulling away in the end as they drop Iran by a 10-6 final score. Okay, the Caribbean Stars taking on Italy AC. Caribbean fighting for top spot with Croatia and Portugal. Jarek Whiteman gets things going, makes it 1-0 towards the end of the first quarter. 2 minutes later, though, Italy hits back. Adriano Marquez hangs tough and pokes it past the keeper. 1-1 shortly after. Daniel Arcila steals, and he pokes it home to make it 2-1 for the Italians. Most of the scoring was actually in the second half, though. Whiteman hammers it home off the second chance. That tied it up 2-2. And the Stars just poured it on after that. Shaq Agard punts a beauty into the back of the cage to make it 3. And then it's Jesse Oliver with the fancy footwork, cuts inside, money. The Stars actually reeled off 6 straight goals. This is Tristan Gale. He makes it 8-2 for Caribbean, and they would trade goals after that point as the Stars cruised to the 9-4 win over the Italians on Sunday. Let's take a look at the goals against leaders amongst goalkeepers. Boris Pardo leading the way with 3.5, followed by the Canadian Josh Lemos of the Milwaukee Wave, Diego Arrija of the Barracudas, Diego Reynoso of the Monterey Flash, and William Venzela, great keeper for the Baltimore Blast. Assist leaders, Nick Pereira with a healthy lead over Leo Gibson, 33-24. Max Ferdinand also tied there with 24. Slavisa Jupiparipovic from Utica City FC, and Brandon Escoto from the San Diego Sockers with 18. And a reminder, all those stats come from the official MASL website, which is maslsoccer.com. Head there for all the latest news, stats, standings, and of course, beautiful official MASL team merchandise you can purchase as well. Hey everybody, welcome back to Inside Arena Soccer. Well, the Caribbean Stars are pretty much right where they expected to be this season, which is challenging for top spot in the Arena Premier League. Now, last year, the Stars made it all the way to the APL final before going down to Croatia AC, a loss they plan on avenging this time around. Now, Portugal AC has seen dramatic improvement since the start of the campaign, since getting spanked 9-2 in their opening contest. The Portuguese have bounced back big time and found themselves up near the top of the standings when they tangled with the Stars last weekend. Highlights in this segment are brought to you by ProSound Hearing Services, 25 years of hearing assistance in Mississauga. ProSound, official sponsor of the Mississauga Metro Stars. This contest served as a warning to APL clubs as to just how far Portugal has come this season. First half of play, free kick Portugal. Nicola Mirodrag just chilling out front. He bangs it past the keeper, and it's 1-0 for Portugal. Shortly after, another free kick, and this one finds daylight as well. Portugal leading 2-0 at the half. Second half of play, the stop is going to be made here, and huge rebound comes out to Mirodrag. He pumps it home. 3-0 for Portugal. Finally, Caribbean wakes up. Maisel Clisara from well out. He will tattoo it into the back of the cage. And the Stars were finally on the board, and they would reel off 2 more. Rohan Ricketts, sweet little move here, and he will hit pay dirt, and suddenly the deficit was down to just 1, and then it's the former Tottenham Spur going to work once again as he pokes it past the keeper. And the Stars had stormed all the way back to tie it up 3-3. Late in the fourth quarter, though, Tristan Watson shrugs off his man and blasts it home to give Portugal back the lead once again. They would add an empty netter, as you're about to see right here. The Stars would also score one more. Not enough on this day, though, as Portugal holds on for the 5-4 triumph over the powerful Caribbean Stars. One more for you. Portugal facing Ukraine, and the Ukrainians just didn't have it on this day. Early on, Matthew Santos will turn and burn it past Ihor Vitiv. 1-0 for Portugal, and then Vitiv gets caught in no man's land, takes a tumble. Chris Sim right there to pounce on it. 2-0 for the men in green, and they were relentless in the first half. Ukraine was getting caught ball watching way too much. The Portuguese were just picking them apart. 3-0 after that tally. More to come. Alexander Zormiski just wants it more, and the effort pays off. 4-zip Portugal at the break. Second half, Ukraine finally gets something going. Nice passing here as they go tic-tac-toe. Vitaly Kolisenko finishes it off to get them on the board, and it's 4-1 at that point. And then the Ukrainians take the free kick quickly. They catch the Portuguese napping. Boom. Cut the deficit to 4-2, but just wasn't happening on this day for the Ukrainians as the Portuguese continued to flex their muscles through the match. They cruise to the 6-3 win. Let's take a look at the APL standings. Croatia continuing to lead the way with 22 points, followed closely by the Caribbean Stars, and then a tie with Ukraine and Portugal with 17 points apiece. Italy AC currently sits in 5th place, and Iran AC rounds out the standings in 6th. A reminder for everything Metro Stars, head to MississaugaMetroStars.ca, the official team website, for some great stories, game summaries, and of course, official team statistics. MetroStars.ca. And for the Arena Premier League, APL.TeamSnapsites.com is the website to head to for the updated stats and standings. And CasaSoccer.ca is your home for Canadian arena soccer, including any information regarding upcoming Team Canada international friendlies. The doTERRA Top 5 brought to you by doTERRA Fine Foods, official specialty foods provider to the Mississauga Metro Stars. doTERRA, it's all about good taste. Number 5, Croatia, Portugal. Alan Kukalovic to Pero Manalo, the gorgeous backdoor pass, and in it goes. Number 4, Ukraine taking on Portugal. Sweet passing here as Ukraine goes tic-tac-toe. Vitaly Kolisenko with the tally out front. Number 3, Raheem Rose played his first game as a Metro Star against Baltimore. He looked like a seasoned veteran. Turns the D-man inside out, dances past the keeper, finds daylight. Beautiful play. Number 2, maybe the best team goal the Stars have scored this year. The build starts at midfield. First the dummy, then the D-row pass, then the Matt Rios finish. Sweet. And number 1, Josh Paredes against the Blast, packing some TNT of his own in this left footer. Look how far out he is. Josh lowering the boom for the scintillating strike, and that is our doTERRA Top 5 Play of the Week. And we are all out of time for this week, but just remember to check out everything Metro Stars. Head to MississaugaMetroStars.ca. And of course, the home for all things arena soccer in Canada is CasaSoccer.ca. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.